Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. In this video, we will start with the first chapter in Science 2, that is classification of plants. And in this chapter, we will be studying about the kingdom Plantae. So children, on earth there are so many number of different species which are present, and to study them we have divided them into the five kingdoms, and last year we have studied about this five kingdom classification. Do you all remember? It was given by Robert Harding Whittaker. So according to this five kingdom classification, living organisms first are divided into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I think you must be remembering what prokaryotes are. So, prokaryotes are unicellular organisms, but they do not have a well-defined nuclear membrane. Also, cell organelles are absent. So, all the organisms, those who are prokaryotes, they all are included into the kingdom Monera. Then we have eukaryotes. Eukaryotes can be divided into unicellular and multicellular. Now the main difference here is that these unicellular organisms, they have a well-defined nuclear membrane and also some cell organelles are present. So all such organisms are included in the kingdom Protista. Then we have multicellular. Multicellular can be with cell wall or without cell wall. If they are with cell wall, they can be either autotrophs or heterotrophs. Autotrophs, those who can prepare their own food, that is plants, as they have chloroplast in them, they can prepare their own food. So we have the other kingdom, that is Plantae. Next is heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food, they are dependent on other for the food. So all the fungi are heterotrophs, and fungi are the next kingdom, that is the fourth kingdom, that is fungi. Also fungi are saprotroph, that is they depend on the dead organisms for the food. Next we have without cell wall. So multicellular organisms without cell wall, that is the animals. So all the animals are included in the kingdom Animalia. This was the five kingdom classification that we have studied in standard 8. Now children, last year we have studied the three kingdoms. Out of the five, three kingdoms are done. In 8th standard you have studied about kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista and kingdom Fungi. This year we will be studying about the kingdom Plantae and the classification of kingdom Plantae. So kingdom Plantae will include all the plants those who are present on the earth. So all the plants are included in kingdom Plantae. But as plants also have so many varieties, and on the earth there are a huge variety of plants which are present. So plants are divided into two, that is cryptogams and phanerogams. Now cryptogams are the plants who do not bear the seeds, that is they cannot produce seeds, and phanerograms can produce seeds. So if they cannot produce seeds, they are called as cryptogams, and if they produce seed, they are called as phanerograms. Now cryptogams are again divided into three divisions, that is thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. In the later video, we will be studying about the each division in detail. Then the phanerograms are divided into gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms, children, they do not have a seed cover. If you see a seed, you can see any seed, you will find that one covering is there. So if the covering is there, it is called as angiosperms, and if covering is not there, it is called as gymnosperm. Then angiosperms, that is if they have the covering, they can be divided into dicotyledon or monocotyledon, that is dicot or monocot. So this is about the classification of kingdom Plantae. Let us start with cryptogams. Now, cryptogams are the plants which do not produce seed. That is, they are non-seed bearing plants. Also, these plants, as they cannot produce seeds, so the reproduction is done through spores. That is, they form spores and the spores will fall or it will be dispersed through pollination, and wherever that spore falls from there, the another cryptogam plant starts to grow. So for the reproduction, spore formation, that is spore formation method is used. Also cryptogams are divided into three, that is thallophyta, bryophyta and Pteridophyta. So the first division in cryptogam is Thallophyta. Now, the plants included in Thallophyta, they grow in water. They can be found in both salty water as well as fresh water, that is in ocean as well as in rivers and ponds. These are unicellular or it can be multicellular. That is, they can be made up of one cell or many cells. Also, they have a very soft and fiber-like body, and most of them have the fiber-like body. Their body is made up of fibers. As they are included into the kingdom Plantae, these are autotrophic, that is, they can prepare their own food with the help of chlorophyll. As chlorophyll is present in them through photosynthesis, they can prepare their own food. Now, one thing it is very important, children, that these plants, they do not bear root, stem, leaves and flowers. So root, stem, leaves and flowers are absent in all the plants that are included in the division Thallophyta. This point is very important. Let's look at a few examples of the division Thallophyta. The first one is alva. Now, the common name for alva is also sea lettuce, as it has an expanded leaf-like structure and it is also an edible green algae. Next example is Shara. Next example in Thallophyta is Spirogera. Now we can see that Spirogera, it has a fiber-like body. If you want to observe Spirogera, it can be easily found in pond. If you will touch it, you will be able to see that they have fibers. And when we observe it under the microscope, we find cell wall, nucleus, and even spirally arranged chloroplast present, through which it produces its food, that is, with the help of photosynthesis. Next division in cryptogam is Bryophyta. Now, these plants, those who are included in Bryophyta, these are called as amphibians of the plant kingdom because these plants grow in the moist soil, and that is the reason they are called as amphibians, as they require both soil and water. These are thalloid, that is, they do not bear leaf, stems and root. These are multicellular, that is, they are made up of many cells. These are autotrophic, that is, they can prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis as chlorophyll is present in them. Also, their body is flat and ribbon-like. They do not have roots, stems and leaves. That is, true roots, stems and leaves are absent. They have tissues which are similar to roots, stems and leaf, but they do not have any conducting system, that is xylem and phloem are absent. Also, they reproduce through spore formation. This was all about the kingdom Bryophyta. Let's look few examples of kingdom Bryophyta. First example in Bryophyta is Finaria. Now, if you look at the diagram of Finaria, you will find that there are root-like structures which are present. But children, these are not the true roots. These are just the root-like structures, and that is the reason these are called as rhizoids. Here we have leaf-like structures, but again, these are not true leaf. Next example in Bryophyta is Mercantia. Another example is Anthosaurus. Now, in all these examples, you must have find that root-like structures, that is rhizoids and leaf-like parts are present, but children, these are not the true leaf or roots. Next division in cryptogam is Pteridophyta. Now, the plants from this group have a well-developed root, stem and leaf, and also they have a well-developed tissues for conduction of food and water, that is xylem and phloem are present here. These plants, they do not bear flowers and fruits, though root, stem and leaves are present. but they do not bear flowers and fruits. They reproduce with the help of spore formation, and the spores are formed behind the leaf, that is, the posterior surface of the leaves. Examples of pteridophyta include sori. Now, here you can find that on the posterior part of the leaf, clusters of sporangia are present. Those round red color structures you can find, these are the sporangia. And inside the sporangia, spores are present. These spores are dispersed when the sporangia burst. Next example is fern. These are very commonly found. You may have seen them among the ornamental plants in a garden. Ornamental plants, children, are the plants which are grown for decorative purpose. So ferns are grown for the decorative purpose. Next example is Lycopodium. Now, Lycopodium is widely used in homeopathic medicine for the liver, urinary, and digestive tract disorders. Next example is Adantium. Now, these plants they have the ability to shed water without becoming wet, and that is because of the structure of the leaf of this plant. Another example in Pteridophyta is Solanginella. Now children, it is important for you all to remember at least 2 to 3 examples of each division. So children, in this video, we learned about 5 kingdom classification of organism, we learned about the classification of plant, and we learned about cryptogam and 3 division in cryptogam, that is Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. In the next video, we will study about phanerograms. I hope you all understood. Thank you for listening children. Until then, take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye bye.